Pero si yo te digo, dice sí, pero si yo te digo, como tú estás, dice, oye, tú estás loco, 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 loco. Oye, mamita, mira, todo el mundo está mandado. Oye, tú estás loco.
So I was looking through all these pictures, they were all really good, but the one that resonated with me most was this. I really like this picture right here because it's three of the most famous revolutionaries of Cuba in Che Guevara, Fidel Castro, and Alberto Gorda just playing golf. These are guerrilla leaders and they're all inexperienced golfers, and I can just see them blundering to play a game of golf just like me. So it kind of humanizes them. I also like Che Guevara a lot ever since I saw the movie Motorcycle Diaries. Check it out. But it's really humanizes him, and before I thought of him as just like a message, I don't know, not really a human. And just like the Motorcycle Diaries, which kind of humanizes him before his revolutionary days, this is a picture of him playing golf, which also humanizes him, I guess.
La foto que escogí yo es de Francisco Bo, que es Grandparents of Mariano Support Fidel Castro de 1986. Pues esta es la foto. Resonó conmigo porque hay muchos criticismos acerca de la revolución de Cuba y muchos de los cubanos ahora piensan que esos ideales ya no son verdad y piensan que la situación de Cuba ahora está muy mala. Pero en realidad están ahora comparándose con otros países como Estados Unidos, países como Argentina, que están muy adelantados. Pero si en realidad pensaran por qué pasó la revolución, el estado en que estaba Cuba antes, no pensarían de esa manera. Y ya fueron muchos años desde la revolución, pero me parece que los ideales de igualdad, libertad, todavía la gente quiere eso, la foto de los ancianos.
You can see that no one's standing in the line of his putt. That's considered bad etiquette for golf. You don't want to stand in someone's line of putt.
I'm holding in my hands this picture, and this picture is the one that sort of grabbed my attention. It was because it was taken by Alberto Corda. He was the one who took the famous Che Guevara picture, and when I see this picture, it's just, I guess, weird. I don't know. I guess in my mind that's the only picture he took, you know. And to see this picture, it's like, oh, he took more pictures. And I think this picture is really interesting because it's like a peasant on top of a lamppost. And when I see this, it just sort of reminds me of, you know, like the legend or the myth of Che. And Che, for him, it was always like the people from below should be the ones who are up. And so as this picture shows, this peasant is now up.
Oh, Alberto Corda is not in the picture. My bad. He's a photographer. He's the photographer of this picture.
Me interesa esta foto porque es un poco simbólico de la dificilidad de los cubanos después de la revolución, porque querían establecer independencia de los Estados Unidos y su influencia, pero necesitaban dólares para pagar para importaciones, porque no se aceptaban los pesos de Cuba para muchos productos en el mundo, y necesitaban dólares y necesitaban el símbolo del imperio americano. Es interesante.
Golf is actually, I don't know, a game invented by the British. And it involves, you take a stick and you hit a ball, and you try to hit a ball into a hole 100 yards or 200 to like 300 yards away, and you try to hit it into the hole with as few strokes as possible. Unlike most other sports, golf has the lower score you have, the better you play.
I decided to choose the picture Rafters, taken in 1994. And it was a picture about people trying to escape from Cuba. The reason this picture really impressed me was just kind of the differing views on Cuban society, because growing up in the States, we kind of get a negative perception of Castro and his regime in Cuba. And then when I went to Argentina this past semester, it seemed that the majority of Argentine society really actually supported him. And I don't know enough about Cuba to be able to say one way or the other whether the society works, but the picture made me wonder whether, you know, which society is better. Is a society that's repressive and, you know, it's a time bubble. It's very old-fashioned. Is that a fair price to pay for a society that has less socioeconomic gaps and less racial strife? Or, you know, if this picture showing people escaping, does it really not work? And is it an antiquated society that's just obsolete in this age?
The problem with the pictures is that, like, I don't feel like I have enough of a connection to really talk about it. That connection died years ago, and what I mean by that is I'm actually half Cuban. My father's wasn't born in Cuba. He was born in the United States, but my family came from Cuba in 1948, and then my father was born in 1950 in New Jersey. My grandfather, he never really learned English that well. He lived in the country for like 30 some odd years. But he never really learned. And I remember actually being scared of him as a child because because he was just kind of old and like scary looking to me, and he didn't speak how I could understand him, because my father refused to speak Spanish anywhere near us. One, he thought it would slow down our learning of English, and he wanted to be as American as possible. He wanted us to not be Cuban. He didn't want us to speak Spanish because that's not what Americans do. My father died when I was 11. After that, like when I was 13 or 14, I realized that I had this identity, this Latino identity, but it was too late for me to go back to it. It was already gone. The fact that I can't reconnect with it because my father died before I even had the chance to connect. So like I feel like I should be able to say so much more about like the pictures and whatnot, but I have no stories about my family. I have no stories about my past. And I don't have a way to connect with that anymore. I don't have a way to really associate myself in a real way with this. You know, this isn't a part. My past, my history, my identity's been whitewashed. I don't really speak Spanish very well either. I'm going to school to learn Spanish from white people. You know, and I know it's a terrible thing to say, but like that's really who I'm learning from. And it is kind of difficult for me because it's like, I shouldn't have to learn from white people, my own heritage. I shouldn't have to go to college to learn about who I am and where my past and where I came from. And like that, I mean, quite often when I'm in a lot of my Hispanic studies courses, I get upset because like I feel like I should know these things. I should already understand these ideas. I should have heard stories from my family, not from a textbook. You know, I should hear more a human side of it. Instead, I'm hearing the academic side. So like, I don't feel like I can like do this because I don't have that connection I should have. And that's why I can't really comment.